Welcome back to In Pursuit of Truth. This is Sir Patrick Mack, your host. We have so many new Q posts that it's hard to keep on top of. We've got a lot of them. We're going to cover them. There's so many of them, I don't even have time to change my mind. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to get started. And this time I'm going to just try and give a little bit of light analysis. There's too much to analyze. There's too much to catch up on. I haven't even researched last night's post. I wanted to make another movie from that, and I just haven't been able to do that. My apologies, but you'll see when you see all that we're getting into. But I will get you started, and that's what we're going to do right now. We are on March 28th. This is 22 minutes after the hour of 10, in which Q says, "Notice any similarities? We are talking to you. Trust the plan." He is referring to 3 Donald Trump tweets, in which I will read right now. Received message last night from Xi Jinping of China that his meeting with Kim Jong-un went very well and that Kim looks forward to his meeting with me. In the meantime, and unfortunately, maximum sanctions and pressures must be maintained at all cost. Then, 46 minutes. For years and through many administrations, everyone said that peace and the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula was not even a small possibility. Now, there is a good chance that Kim Jong-un will do what is right for his people and for humanity. Look forward to our meeting. And then, he says, the Second Amendment will never be repealed. As much as Democrats would like to see this happen, and despite the words yesterday of former Supreme Court Justice Stevens, no way. We need more Republicans in 2018 and must always hold the Supreme Court. Okay. So the similarities, I don't really know yet. I'm sorry. I don't notice the similarities. It's Donald Trump. There might be some patterns of speech that I'm missing there. Just want to give you that. Haven't had time to even really look at it. We are going to move on. Now, this gets tricky here. Again, we're going from right to left, right where my cursor is. This is March 2018. This is 17 minutes after the hour 4. There is a link here we'll go to, and he says, think outside the box. Timing of release, post Facebook news. Facebook worldwide, Google worldwide, Amazon worldwide, Twitter worldwide, tracking active, listening active, data shared, data used for what? Kickbacks, big time, private, public, bypass regulations / laws, intelligence agencies across the globe in partnership to spy on citizens, constitutional crisis, magnitude, who can you trust, who organized, how do social media search engine platforms weigh elections, regulation or kill, stop, peace through strength, at Snowden, shine the light, bright, and then we have DOA, which I would only assume is dead on arrival, in kill brackets. Why is Hussein traveling the world conducting high-level meetings? Use logic. And then we've got a link here, Nancy Salzman, historical timeline in brackets. MSN will not highlight bottom to top, unravel Q. Okay, let's break down this. I know I normally like to read through them, but this one's, there's just so much. So if you go over to this link, it's going to take you, right here. That is correct. DOJ Inspector General reviews alleged FISA abuses by DOJ FBI. Inspector General opens probe of alleged bias in FBI DOJ. The investigation will determine if anyone in the ranks broke the rules when convincing federal judges to sign off on surveillance during the Russian collusion probe. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz announced Wednesday he will review potential Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act FISA abuses by both the Justice Department and the FBI following requests from Congress and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The Office of the Inspector General released a statement Wednesday outlining the start of the review. Quote, the OIG will initiate a review that will examine the Justice Department's and the Federal Bureau of Investigation's compliance with legal requirements and with applicable DOJ and FBI policies and procedures in applications filed with the U.S. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISC, relating to a certain U.S. person. Quote, unquote, The statement obtained by Fox News read, quote, as part of this examination, the OIG will also review information that was known to the DOJ and the FBI at the same time the applications were filed from or about an alleged FBI confidential source. I'm going to let you read the rest of that. That is the actual link that it takes you to here. Okay? So we already know about these FISA abuses. It's just coming to light in the mainstream media. So think outside the box. Timing of release. Well, it's definitely time. Post Facebook news. Facebook, we already know what's going on with Facebook, Google, Amazon, Twitter. These guys are all panicking. They're all dumping stock. They're all getting caught tracking us. And now we know that they've been listening to us. Well, we know now that their data was shared. What's the data used for? Used for what? Okay, well, there's been a picture going around. A lot of you have seen it. I'm not going to draw it up. because I just haven't had time. I'm sorry, I'm on a work break. But there's a picture of Obama. There's Google's Eric Schmidt. You see Steve Jobs there. You see all these different social media companies around the world. And there's a genome project there. That's somebody that's representing that. They're all sitting around this big table. You guys know what I'm talking about. And if somebody has it, they can post it. But basically, what I see this here is, you see data mining. We've got human trafficking going on. We've got spying. We've got not only data mining, but data sharing. We've got listening. All this tracking. Well, what is all this? Wetware? What is all this for? And how does this relate to something like maybe say 23andMe or all these different DNA projects? Ladies and gentlemen, this sounds like eugenics to me. Now, I'm not trying to get too tinfoil hat, but come on. This looks like eugenics to me. Okay? And keep in mind, a lot of these people are tied back into the Nazi regime, the KGB. I mean, this is, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a conspiracy theorist, chomp away. All right, let's keep going. Used for what? Kickbacks, big time. Private, public, bypass regulation laws? Well, they did. They bypassed a lot of regulations. That's why all these agencies were traveling. That's why they were going around the world to get their programs and their their data and their data systems installed everywhere. Intelligence agency across the globe in partnership to spy on citizens? Yeah, I would assume yes. Constitutional crisis? Definitely. Magnitude? Massive. Who can you trust? No one. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you not to trust me. Don't trust anybody you look at, or listen to or watch on YouTube or on TV or anything like that. Question it all. Who organized? Obama. Hillary Clinton, Soros. I think a lot of people organized it. Muslim Brotherhood. How do social media / search engine platforms weight elections? Well, they shadow ban. They shadow ban people like you and I. They shadow ban our president. Regulation or kill stop? Well, it's going to be one or the either. If Facebook and YouTube and all these places, all these conglomerates are going to continue to operate, they got to be regulated or they got to be killed. Peace through strength at Snowden. Shine the light bright. Well, I think Snowden is still that guy. Whether you think he's a white hat, black hat, gray hat, doesn't matter. I think right now he's the one that is actively kind of shining the light. I think we're also getting a lot of help from Kim.com. Shine the light bright. DOA, dead on arrival. Either someone or something was found dead on arrival. Who knows? Remember that Q said that there would be some deaths, some people that weren't going to go down. Why is Hussein traveling the world, conducting high-level meetings? Well, why not? It's logical. It's logical. This is a lot to cover up. And then we have a link. Use logic. Then we have the link, and it talks about now Nancy Salzman. So I'm going to take you to the link, then I'm going to talk about Nancy Salzman. MSM will not highlight bottom to top. Unravel. Okay, well, the link takes you here. And I'm sorry, because of the country I live in, you don't get the graphics here, but it's a Fox link. So I'm going to take you over here to New York Times. It's the same story. All right. Charges filed against leader of secretive group where women were branded. Federal authorities charged the head of an Albany area group with forcing women to engage in sex, according to a complaint unsealed on Monday. The man, Keith Rainier, who you've probably heard about already, was arrested by federal officials in Mexico, where he has lived for the past 5 months, one federal official said. He was scheduled to appear Tuesday at a hearing in Texas. According to the complaint, female followers of the group headed by Mr. Rainier were forced to have sex with him because they feared that if they did not do so, compromising material they had provided about themselves would be released quickly. For 2 decades, Mr. Rainier has served as the leader of an organization near Albany called NXIVM, pronounced Nexium. The group, which describes itself as a self-help organization, denies it is a cult, but former members have said that Mr. Rainier demands obedience from his followers who refer to him as Vanguard. Okay, so a lot of people have reported on this story already, but I just want to read this one last paragraph here. To gain admission to the sorority, women were required to give their recruiter, or master as she was called, naked photographs or other compromising material, and were warned that such collateral might be publicly released if the group's existence were disclosed. Ladies and gentlemen, can you think of another group that would do something like that would get you maybe some compromising pictures of something that you've done in order to kind of enforce your loyalty? Can't think of one off the top of my head. Let's move on. All right, let's go back to the Q post. Now we talk about Nancy Salzman. I'm not exactly sure yet about the historical timeline. Like I said, all these Q posts came out. I can't dig deep enough. But I'm going to take you over to the Frank report. This is who we're talking about right here. FBI raids what is it, Nexium prefect Nancy Salzman's home. The FBI has raided Nancy Salzman's home on Oregon Trail in suburban Albany, New York. A search warrant was issued, and several federal agents armed and donning bulletproof vests have entered the home of Nexium leader and co-founder known as Prefect. Interesting. So Salzman, 63, a registered nurse and hypnotist, is second in command of the Nexium cult. The cult's leader, Keith Rainier, was arrested yesterday. Part of the search will be for cash and other documents and videos believed to be stored in a large basement safe. Rainier was arrested on Saturday in Mexico and transferred to the USA on charges including sex trafficking and forced labor, aka slavery. Okay, you can read the rest of it. I'll leave the link here for you. That's pretty much most of it, but that's her. She is the prefect. She was the one that was holding all the data that was basically keeping these people in servitude for this Rainier fellow. All right, that's this post. Now let's take you here. 25 minutes after the hour, 4 Q post, CM locked out of GA. Now, I'm not exactly sure about GA. There isn't any sort of agreed sentence. I'm going to assume government agency. And I think in these brackets, it could be in sort of like dealing with their websites for sure. I'm not really sure. CM would be Code Monkey. And what is a Code Monkey? Code Monkey could be anybody. There's a particular Code Monkey, but the one we're talking about here is for this 8chan administrator. That's usually what we're talking about, an administrator. So Code Monkey, we're going to assume is the there it says Code Monkey, 8chan administrator. All right, Sniffer detects traces of bypass override. Remember, this is the trip code right here. This is Q's trip code. Excuse me, that one's not it. Sniffer detects traces of bypass override. Let me show you his trip code. Yeah, there's the trip code there. Okay, so we know when Q is talking because this is the trip code. Excuse me. Layers upon layers. New approach to silence. New board will be created. Team to secure. Time to complete. 1 of 2. Okay, I don't want to go into crazy amounts of this, but the 8chan board has been constantly hacked. Everything's getting hacked. Anybody who's dealing with technology or any trying to get this message out in any way, shape, or form, no matter what platform you are, you're dealing with some hacking. But let me take you over here to Jerome Corsi. He tweeted today. Mueller in panic mode grabs Ted Malloch of, I think he means to say off airplane from London to FBI detains, takes cell phone. Ted out of contact, questioned, and then you have some references: Donald Trump, Julian Assange, Russia emergency broadcast. The EBS, huh? Tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time. InfoWars. Alex Jones. Alex Jones going to be talking about it. He may have already talked about it. I haven't listened in to Alex Jones yet. So let me take you over here. This is News Wars, and this is more about that story. Breaking: FBI detains InfoWars contributor, questioned about Donald Trump, Julian Assange, and Russia. A frequent guest on the Alex Jones show was reportedly detained Wednesday after flying into the United States from London. Pundit and former Davos executive board member Ted Malloch was detained by FBI and questioned about Donald Trump, Julian Assange, and Russia, according to InfoWars DC Bureau Chief Jerome Corsi. And there's Joseph Paul Watson of Prison Planet. He tweets about it. There's the tweet you saw of Jerome Corsi. And there he is talking about how Alex Jones is going to make a statement. And if you want to see a few of Ted Malloch's interviews, there they are right here. This is as of newswars.com. Just look at the links below. We are moving on. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. All right. Now we're going to take you over. Where are we taking you over? Yeah, right over here. Thank you. March 28th, 25 minutes after the hour 4. And evidently Q is expounding on the previous post. We are being attacked on all devices used to talk. Government agency is terminated, or maybe it's the government agency. I'm not really sure what these kind of brackets mean. Locked. Something is locked. I have a feeling this is like a network or something like that. Government agency network is terminated, and then now the new one is locked. No further posts on the government agency network, and they're probably going to kill that network. That's my guess, okay? The source is abroad, not domestic. So I hope that helps. Now let's take you here. 34 minutes after the hour 4. This is from an Anon who says Jeff Sessions exposed. Q agent of the clowns in America. Jeff Sessions, agent of the clowns in America. Hillary Clinton. 8chan and Q have been comped big time. These posts tell it all. Now, I'm not going to go deep into these posts. These posts are talking about how the boards have been comped. And basically, what he's saying right here, this statement right here, is summing up these links. Okay, normally I would go through these links, but because of the volume of these posts, the summation is what he's saying here. 8chan and Q have been comped. Do not trust anything Q says. He is a clown agent of the Kabbalah. 8chan also has been comped by the clowns in America. Jeff Sessions, Mueller, Comey, Wray, Trey Gowdy, Obama, Hillary, Rosenstein, D.W. Schultz, Owan brother criminals, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Harry Reid, and more. All clowns in America, agents of the banking cartel trying to take America down. Scumbag Sessions and fake Q were just exposed the other day by an American intelligence media. Now, could they be talking about the Cicada group? I'm not buying it, if that's it. I'm not buying it. You do what you want with that. But that could be what they're talking about. And then Q responds, saying you failed. Okay. Let's take you here. We have another link. Wonder who leaked this. Fire in the hole. Well, it takes you to another Fox article. This one. Documents suggest possible coordination between CIA, FBI, Obama White House, and Dem officials early in Trump-Russia probe investigators. The political rhetoric over the FISA abuse memo took a new turn with the ranking Democrat drafting his own version. Catherine Herridge goes in depth for special report. Newly uncovered text messages between FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page suggest a possible coordination between high-ranking officials at the Obama White House, CIA, FBI, Justice Department, and former Senate Democratic leadership in the early stages of the investigation into alleged collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, according to GOP congressional investigators on Wednesday. Well, I will leave this link here. It's more about those text messages. This goes deeper into it, and of course, it's a deeper mess. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the tidal wave that Q was talking about, but there's the link. Now, moving on. We get here 16 minutes after the hour of 10. Seeing a lot of your leaks lately, friend. Good to have a friend leaker for once. Now, this is another anonymous talking to Q, to which Q responds, HRC 21209, very bad, Q. Now, I'm going to take you to a link here. This is from February 12. He's referring to February 12, 2009. Just to set the stage, Hillary Rodham Clinton at that time was on a tour of Asia. And at that time, there was a lot of tension between North Korea and South Korea, and she went to Korea. Just want to give you that little background on where she was. But this is from February 12, 2009. An email suggests Clinton gets a new cell phone despite her later claims that she didn't use one. An email sent to or received by Clinton on this day has the subject heading regarding new cell. It won't be found in the over 30,000 Clinton emails given to the State Department in December 2014. Thus, the details are known because she will be asked about it in her July 2016 FBI interview. Okay, this is from the Thompson Timeline.com. I will leave it below for you, but many of you probably remember when this was in the narrative. That is what Q is most likely referring to. We've got 4 more posts. And here we are, 20 minutes after the hour of 10. An Anon says, did you see Code Monkey's message? Now, I did not see Code Monkey's message. That's the 8chan moderator. I'm not on 8chan. I'm on the QAnon pub. This is the board where only Q posts get shown. The 8chan board has all these different trip codes and all these different users, and it's a bit of a mess. I don't like using it because I find it very not very pleasing for your eye. I want you to be able to see the words the best you can, but that's what the Code Monkey is, okay? So Q responds, government agency, and again, those brackets, which I'm going to assume means network, is dead. All right. Taking you over here. 25 minutes past the hour of 10. Government agency is dead. Check line 119, blah, 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 blah. New board being routed. Thank you, Patriot Q. And another Q responds, Q. Okay. Same trip code. But it looks to me like Q is talking to Q. Now we're over here. 34 minutes past the hour of 10. Q post MSN talking about red versus blue pill. Matrix reference. Coincidence? Well, I know on Fox News it's been used. I don't know about the other. I haven't been watching a lot of mainstream media news. I get most of my news from articles. I don't watch TV, so I don't know what they're talking about. I would assume they are. I watch, clips of things and stuff like that. So I imagine that's going to be start to kind of filter through under our narrative is red pill versus blue pill, and I'm sure people are going to try and confuse the average viewer as to which is actually which. And of course, if you watched my video breakdown about the Comedy Central video, then you'll kind of understand what we're talking about here. I think that's going to be sort of increasingly prevalent in the narrative. We've got one more Q post right now at 52 minutes past the hour of 10. An Anons post. I am terrified to go to bed, but I have to. I have work tomorrow. What if I wake up and everyone has moved to a new board? How will I know? I've been on this train since CBTS. I can't lose communication now. CBTS was an earlier board, I think. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I think it was one of the earlier 4chan boards, wasn't it? Somebody will correct me. I can't remember. It was CBTS. I wasn't following that. So anyway, Q responds, you are safe. They are terrified. Sleep well, Patriot. You elected us to keep you safe. We will not fail. Government agency, possible network, I guess, will change. Notification will be made. Where we go one, we go all. Well, that kind of confirms that this is talking about a network, because if the network changes, they're going to give us a notification. So that's what I would imagine. Anyway, those are your Q posts. I'm sorry I can't go more in depth in these stories, but as you can see, there were an absolute ton of them, and they all happened on my work break. I got to go back to work pretty soon. As always, if there are new Q posts, you will get them early this morning. More than likely, look up for a follow-up video. I want to do some more in-depth research on this, and I actually wanted to do some review from these 3 posts from yesterday. So stay tuned. I got more for you. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Sharing this message really, really helps me. There are some certain things that I mentioned, by the way, last night about a particular post that I did not break down. I want you to understand that I have one strike against me and I have to choose my words very carefully. I'm going to start using the NATO alphabet when referring to some of this. So get familiar with that and we will talk more. Until then, this is Sir Patrick Mack with In Pursuit of Truth. Stay focused, stay vigilant, stay off crack, or you'll break your mother's back.